So I know it's kind of the middle of the project, but it's probably a really good point right here. So I have this TV, and I have this wall. This wall has a little space heater on it, but I'm not really digging this this way of keeping the TV there. As you see, I also have a little Nintendo Switch. So it seems strange to have a big old thing for just that little amount. So on the back of the TV, there are little mounting screws for a wall mount, and you can pay, you know, a couple $100 and get one, or you can look up the sizes of the thread and find out that it's an M6 machine thread, and figure out an approximate length, so 40 millimeters. Come up with this setup right here to screw in and build something out of wood. So because of the switch, I want to have some kind of shelf, and so what I've done here is I've started the process of mounting a board to the wall, then there'll be connecting boards, and then a board that mounts the TV. Now, because of the complexity of it, screws need to go in there, but those bolts need to go the opposite way. So building this, I have to do it in sort of stages. So I've built a backer board. I'll screw into the studs here and here, and at some point I need to get way better at finding studs, because originally I thought the studs were here and here, and of course I'm off. So maybe I'll invest in a stud finder or something, but ultimately I just drill until I find it, which means I put a lot of extra holes in my walls, but whatever. Now I have these 2x4s here, mostly as spacers, but also as nailers for a shelf to go on top and a shelf to butt on the bottom. So going out to my shop, nice rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. And I wouldn't be a mess maker if my shop wasn't an entire mess. So, yay, I'm still a mess maker. Mostly because I get really excited about a project and not so excited about cleaning. Safety, though, I should be cleaning. So I built these brackets here. And so essentially what I've done is I've glued a 2x4 setup in between two plywood to really create a lot of extra strength and a lot of nailing capability. There is a very large gap right here, so that's a little concerning. But there's so much glue on here and everything that I think it should be okay. And the idea here is that basically I'm building the equivalent of a header beam for extra strength. Now this is going to mount against the wall onto that board, and this little shelf will be out and available for nailing on, and that's just done with a simple dado, and right now it's just glued in. I'll probably tack it into that backboard, and then so there's two of those, and that 2x4 you saw on the board over there is the spacer that goes in between there. And then this is where the magic happens. So this is the board that already has the screw holes for the TV, and notice that again, like a good mess maker, my engineering not so precise, so I had to lengthen that hole. And then these washers or these circles are the washers to show there. So this gets screwed right in between these boards. And of course, just making this video, I'm making more of a mess. But that will sit like that, and then the TV gets mounted through there and there, and you have access from the bottom and access from the top in order to get those bolts in. And then a shelf will screw into this board and the other board that's up there on the wall, on the top and on the bottom. And so the whole thing will button up. And so by building it in these sort of stages, I should be able to get maximum strength out of it, while at the same time being able to screw everything together. And so, if I could stand this up. Okay. Great film work, right? That's what happens when you work alone. So then there'll be a little shelf right here. And in fact, I believe these are upside down. So that means this side goes over there, that side goes over there. But this is the top, because I wanted a shorter shelf on the top for controllers or whatever, and then this bigger shelf will contain games. And the whole design is to look like a floating shelf. So hopefully I get some editing software and I won't have to post this whole thing on there with all of my mistakes, but I might just do that for right now. And hopefully it's beefy enough that the whole thing will hold the weight of the TV more than adequately, so that I don't have to worry about a falling TV in the middle of the night. The other thing is I'm going to make sure that screwing into the wall, I have overkill screws, very strong. These rugged 5/16 by 3 1/8, and that's what's going to go into the stud walls. And then to mount the board, I have these 9 by 3 sort of things, but they're also going to get supplemented with some wood glue as well. So we'll see how it all works out.